Alright, boom. That's how you start painting. Hello and welcome to Season 11, Episode 2, Country Cabin. You already know it has cabin in the title. It's gonna be a banger one, right? I think it kind of has to be by law. Honestly, I think I kind of want to use this one. Yeah, I think this is the better vibe check. I can see myself painting on my Twitch preview on my dashboard, and I was like, I need that to go away immediately. I need that to not be in my peripheral. I guess it was just the angle that the painting preview was shown at, because I originally thought like, oh, this is like a more like squared canvas that he's using, but it's seemingly just the normal one that he's using. Nothing crazy going on. Rip Harambe indeed. Never forget a homie. It's true. How's it going? And finding out that this checkered tone that I'm using for skies is kind of an OP strat, actually. I'm beginning to find it works really good. Yeah, genuinely, I honestly don't know what the plan is for after this, because I don't know if I want to do an MM run since I started so much later than I usually would. We also will have to deal with the whole making food thing later and the whole go into the store real quick later, so I don't know. We'll vibe check. It does kind of suck that like, basically the only thing left for me to do now in Hollow Knight is figure out Pure Vessel. Which I feel like isn't really something I want to just like grind on stream, personally. At least that's my take. I feel like that's not something I want to preferably just grind on stream, at least. I feel like at a certain part, it just like would not be very fun to watch, most likely. But I don't know. So I don't even know. Maybe I could just play Buzz League after this. Could do that. That's always a backup option. I haven't played in a few days. You know, deadass last time I played, I got stuck on Gary for I feel like 10 minutes. That motherfucker just wouldn't die. I swear every time I start a session, it picks like which CPU it wants to just like infinitely combo and never die. I feel like that's what it does, low key, copium, but also not copium. Yo, Owl, morning sun, morning bro. Okay, we need like a bit of these clouds going in at cloud. I actually do want this to be more like a rightward. That's right, like Squidward. I hope everyone's weekend was amazing. I honestly didn't really do a whole lot on the weekend. I'm gonna be honest. I just kinda was watching Gommel. Did a bit of drawing. I don't know, I didn't really do anything special. Didn't really do anything out of the ordinary. It rained hella yesterday, that's fun. Not something that I did, but that happened. Not really something that I have any control over, supposedly at least. You never know. It was crazy watching Gommel yesterday for finals day. It taking place in Toronto, which that part isn't really that relevant, except for the part that I guess like a huge percentage of Toronto yesterday had a giant like power outage, and it affected the hotel that they were hosting Gommel at. But it just kept going. People like were IRL streaming like through their phones, even though they couldn't play like how they were supposed to in like the main room. They were just playing in like other rooms and keeping the bracket going, and it was kind of hype just like watching these jank stream setups. It went kind of hard, not gonna lie. Probably was hell for the TOs to deal with. That probably sucked, but they persevered. I don't know if it's true, but I read a comment someone put in, I think someone put in Twitch chat yesterday saying that allegedly the TOs were like in contact with like the government of Canada to like try and like get power going back on to that hotel specifically. Which they had a generator, which is how like they still had like setups going and such, but they didn't have like internet, so they couldn't like stream normally like how they wanted to. I think like it started at like 11 was when the bracket started that day, and then I think the stream didn't get on until like 3 p.m. or so. It was like pretty late relatively to when it was supposed to actually start for real. I wonder how many portal batteries went through. Yeah, how many like battery banks were people out here using? Makes you wonder, but yeah, at least it wasn't just, okay, there's nothing for like 4 hours. Oops, sorry, you missed half the bracket. Well, that's how it goes. Yeah, I was glad that it was still viewable. And of all things that could have happened, spoiler alert, that grand finals for Melee was Luigi Peach. Like, I feel like no one would have ever like expected that to be grands. It was pretty tense. It was pretty good. I actually also randomly watched a bit of Ultimate. I was curious. Rare footage of it not being a Steve, actually. It was rare footage, like watching Ultimate, and they weren't playing on, well, they were playing a lot of Pokemon Stadium too, but actually seeing a different stage was different. I'm like, wow, you tell me they pick different stages sometimes? But it did go pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it being like tense grand finals and them playing on Hollow Bastion and hearing the Kingdom Hearts music. It was honestly a vibe. I was like, damn, this kind of actually fits pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, damn, I see why people hate this Snake. Why people hate Snake. My character looks like a total bitch to play against. It's been like a million years since I've had to deal with that character. I was like, wow, this looks annoying as fuck. The lengths on that big sounds awful. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I don't even know if they like delayed the bracket at all, or if they were just like, okay, just play, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like a bunch of people started streaming and then they were like, fuck it, let's just start. Cause yeah, I know there was probably at least like 5 different like IRL streams, at least for Melee. I don't know if people were IRL streaming for Ultimate. I assume probably. He's Bayonetta's worst matchup. Well, honestly, the only reason I was watching actually because it was an MK Leo run, and MK Leo just has that aura. It's like everyone just kind of likes him. So I was like, all right, I'll watch. I'll watch for the GOAT. He was playing Joker the whole time. The classic. But I was like, what? I saw that Snake Nair do 26%, and I was like, what the fuck? You mean this move does 26%? Huh? We thought that was okay. Insane. Yeah, overall, Gommel was pretty good to watch, I'd say. It was actually, speaking of Gommel and Ultimate, oh my god, what the fuck is his name? Cola, I think, is an Ultimate player. I think he placed better in Ultimate or in Melee than he did in Ultimate. Question mark. I didn't know that guy played Melee at all. Like he played against Zane and took him like he didn't take a game, but I know in one of the games he took him to like last stock. I was like, damn. I didn't think he had it like that in Melee. I don't know. I never like really was familiar with him in Ultimate. I just like know the name. It's like, oh, I've heard that name before. I heard him on the IRL stream saying, I need to retire from Ultimate. Like, damn. Is this guy just gonna become a Melee player? That's a definite thinking of that of Kingdom Hearts also, I did fall asleep again to this Kingdom Hearts deep dive video last night. This long ass like 16-hour video. I'm like, holy fuck. It was like crazy that my guy has this much to talk about for this game. I wonder how long that must have took to write that script. Tell the entire story. It is literally just Kingdom Hearts 1. It is literally just the first game that my guy is talking on. I think this is the color I want to use. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's just Kingdom Hearts 1. It all started with this dude popping into the YouTube algorithm randomly a few weeks ago with like a Sunshine deep dive, which was like, that video is like 8 or 9 hours. And that video is pretty juicy. Like that's a comfy video. And then at some point he has a Sly 3 one also. And then yeah, at some point Kingdom Hearts 1 appeared on the feed. And I was like, alright, I'll put on the Kingdom Hearts 1, why not? I know like he covers like he talks about like the most like just like everything and anything. And he'll talk about like version differences whenever applicable. Last night was mostly 100 Acre Wood, and then I got to Neverland, and then basically by the time I got to Neverland, I was like, I should probably actually try and sleep now. And then I tried to sleep. Is there dust on this? Just give it a quick clean. I feel like my controls are getting a little nerfed right now, and I think the ball might be a little dusty. I trim my nails, and I'm trying to pinch this thing to open it, and it's like really hard right now. Skittle. Okay, got it. Is it dusty? It's a little dusty. Just give it a quick wipe on the towel. Like, he even, like, goes as far to be, like in 100 Acre Wood, for example, he would be like, oh, there's this cutscene of Piglet walking up to you, but if you enter from this screen, you get a different cutscene, which it's the same cutscene, just a different scenery. It's like, damn, he's like showing like everything he possibly can about this game. And like talking about like stuff about like the story and source material, yada yada yada. Like, my guy is dedicated. My guy is dedicated. I respect it. At least I got to hear the "you're stupid" line before I fell asleep last night. That's a good line. That's a good one that we got. Fucking classic. I'm like, yeah, you fucking tell him. Tell him what's good. Yeah, Sora saying that to Riku. I don't remember what. I think Riku's going on something like, "The darkness obey me," or "The heartless obey me now," or something like that. And Sora's just like, "You're stupid." Fucking banger line, honestly. Okay, this does feel a lot better. It's crazy like a little bit of dust in the mouse can make like the tracking, the movement of the mouse like way worse. It's crazy. You wouldn't think like a little bit of dust, because it wasn't even that dusty, but like, there were like little particles like I could see on it, and I was like, all right, get a little bit of wipe. And it indeed is working a lot better now. You know, I'm glad also in that video, in that deep dive video, he like gasses up the like opening like CG cinematic. And I'm like, you know, honestly, like I think it honestly still does look good. Despite it being made in like 2002? Like I don't know, it's just got like some sauce to like just what they were able to do with it. It honestly still goes pretty hard in my opinion. Yeah, simple and clean will forever be a banger. And I wonder if that guy, if he has a Kingdom Hearts 2 deep dive, like does he just like talk about like the beginning being confusing AF, because I feel like that's like a pretty iconic experience for people playing Kingdom Hearts 2 for the first time, being like, what the fuck is happening in this game? Ooh, who the hell is this? Where's Sora? Where the fuck's Goofy? Now see me, I already knew all that. Well, I don't know if I like knew specifically the, like all like the lore stuff that happened, but I knew like shit was fucked when you start to, so I wasn't like confused AF, but playing that game new kind of messed up. Water's good, by the way. I'm gonna Delia Ebo. Damn, this is a crazy room they're in. It's a definite blue square. Realization hits you, you had to play the Game Boy Advance game for context. Well, I'm sure most people probably didn't even know that. Like, if you played the game when it came out, like, you wouldn't know that unless if you just happened to play it. I want this tone. How's that look on the thing? Ooh, we could maybe use that. Sure, why not? Let's get crazy. Like, I am so surprised there's like nothing in the game. They just like figured, oh, people will play this, people will play the other games. Of course they will. I'm just surprised there wasn't like any kind of like cutscene or something to give you some kind of context. Like, I think it's valid to go in with the assumption of playing the game labeled with 1, and then, well, I guess the first game was just called Kingdom Hearts, but then to play the next game, which is called 2. I feel like that's a valid assumption to assume that the story would directly continue from where the first game ends, but nope, that's a meme. I think that would be a valid way of thinking, in my opinion. Even though it doesn't, but it's like, you know, just put like a cutscene or like something. And like there, like yeah, you can still say it's dumb that they that they had the story go into a side game, but at least you'd have context. But nowadays, it like isn't really as much of an issue. Also, I was very surprised in the video that the guy mentioned, I forget what they call it specifically, but how in one, what is it? You, like for Hook's ship to appear, you have to clear Monstro, Halloween Town, and something else, I think. But there's 3 worlds to clear for Hook's ship to appear, but also if you clear only 2 of them, then there's like a 30% chance or something that his ship will appear. And he did mention that little thing. He's like, this is basically only relevant for speedruns. I'm like, damn, that's crazy that he's mentioning this, because I remember when my guy existed still, who I watched do speedruns for 1, like that was like relevant. Like, oh, didn't get whatever he would say, Hook's ship first try or whatever the fuck, whatever they would call it specifically. And I honestly never specifically knew like exactly how it worked. But I was surprised to hear the video, Mr. Creator Dude, bring it up. I was like, oh, I've watched speedruns for this game once upon a time. Conveniently plays plot point, having Sora's memories wiped too. It's true. Okay, this one I'm just gonna do like a little bit of. I don't really need to fill like all this in with trees, but I guess I will. Well, I kind of get a little lazy with it because there's gonna be a big old cabin here. I need to hopefully make sure it doesn't cover up the orange in the sky. My orange is way more to the right than I wanted it to be. That's okay. We'll make it work. The day whenever I do another playthrough of those games, that'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting one. 80% doesn't do Atlantica. Yeah, it definitely doesn't. Definitely does not do Atlantica. Is this the one that I want? Yes. You know, I never did Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 2. I never did it in that game because I knew what it was. I knew it wasn't an actual world, and I was like, I don't want to do this, so I just didn't do it. I was like, why'd they do that? Why'd they do that? Making it like poor man's karaoke or whatever. Poor man's rock band. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, you could say, yeah, it is like a divergence in like the formula, and like that's unique within itself. Have to do that world for one of the Ultima weapon synthesis materials too. I remember when I was grinding to try and beat Sephiroth in 2, people were like, oh, you should try it. You could maybe grind to get a Ultima Blade. And I like looked at the requirements and I was like, fuck that. No, thank you. I do not want to deal with that. Just basically go kill these enemies, hope that they spawn in this specific level, and then hope you get the one random item that they drop that you need, and then do that like 30 times or something. And I was like, I'm gonna keep using the pumpkin blade or whatever. whatever I was using. I was like, I don't need a fancy Ultima Blade to beat this guy. And then I didn't. I didn't need that thing. I actually had that shit turned off. And that shit turned off. Where's Anna? She's like, I'm working. Yeah, I think I literally never did anything with synthesis in 1 or 2. I think I honestly don't remember if the game explains it well or if I just like kind of ignored it. like how in at least in 1, I swear I've heard many people like say that like it does not explain how the fuck to customize the gummy ship very well, because I remember not understanding what the hell I was doing, and I was like, I just kind of, I think, stuck with a shitty ship the whole game because I just didn't get it. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? What the hell am I doing? I wonder how I feel now, but like when I played those games, I did not like the gummy ship sections, mostly because I was like, this just is like filler. This is like, to me, this just feels like filler. Like, yes, it's like, this is the means for like literally how you're teleporting between the worlds, like how you're getting there. At least once you like get to a world, you don't have to like do the gummy ship route thing every single time. You can just skip it, thankfully. I was like, I'd rather just be playing the game and not poor man's Star Fox right now, personally. I wonder how I'd feel these days about the gummy ship sections. At least in 2, I think there was a lot less of them. A lot less of the gummy ship stuff in general. That's the wrong one. Like, imagine if every time you went back to a world, if you had to do the gummy ship route every time. Like, that would blow. That would suck. if you had to do that every time. Did they make presets for you in 2? I actually don't remember that at all, Nike. If I'm gonna be honest, I do not remember that at all. But of all things I think about when I think of Kingdom Hearts 2, the gummy ship is not what I think of. Actually, something I remember like hearing that the like 1000 Heartless like gauntlet battle thing. I don't know if it's literally 1000, but that huge like Heartless gauntlet you do. I remember people saying that that was allegedly a really hard part of the game, and I first tried that shit. I like Giga first tried that section, I remember. But I'm pretty sure people made it out to being like a really difficult part of the game. And I like Giga did not struggle at all in that section, so W for me. That area for me is just like thinking about that one enemy that you can like just get on and like use as a turret and like 360 to kill a bunch of Heartless like really quickly. That's what that mode felt like to be, just doing that a bunch. And it was pretty broken. Pretty broken. Right, Civil Water? Actually, I think it's right before ish, a little bit before you do the 1,000 Heartless fight, the Organization 13, the dance water dance guy. I'm pretty sure I remember getting fucked up by that guy for like a good while beforehand, I think. That guy, like, I think kicked my shit in for a little while. I was having a hard time. Speaking of hard times, I think it's a cabin time. Yeah, I think it's a cabin time. Cabin time. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. I just had a sip of water, but I want another sip. I'm just like thirsty. Would have been more fun to have access to drive forms other than Limit during that fight. Hey, I was playing original PlayStation 2 version, so I didn't even have Limit form. I didn't have that shit. That shit didn't exist. You know what's also whack in OG Kingdom Hearts 2 on PS2? There's no dodge roll. I know they added that in Final Mix, and same with Limit form. But there's no dodge roll. I was like, damn, hold on. This is fucked up. There's no dodge roll in this game. I think I remember that mostly being relevant for Sephiroth. But so I guess if you died in that section, after that you had to refight. Oh yeah, damn, I guess I never experienced having to refight him because I didn't die in that area. Yeah, you could say I was gaming. Gaming except for the points where I wasn't gaming. Yeah, gaming except for the parts where I was getting fucked up, and in those parts I wasn't gaming very well. Yeah, this one is a chimney. Oh, that's a rare one. This is a rare cabin appearance for the chimney. Hold on. But however, instead in 1, because in Kingdom Hearts 1 PS2 version, I don't know about Final Mix, but at least in base North American Kingdom Hearts 1, there is no cutscene skips, so if you die on any boss ever, you have to just watch the damn cutscene every time. And I'm like, I am losing my shit. Watching this pot centipede cutscene every time. The Riku cutscene. I think I low-key also actually didn't struggle with the Riku fight, question mark, even though I know that's like the classic struggle fight for most people in 1. Also, my cabin is really big. My cabin is wide, peepo happy AF. Holy fuck. Mine is a mansion. This is a big ass cabin I have. It's fine, because this is my painting, but like, damn, this thing is big. This thing is huge. I'll have to see if I'm conscious for when Mr. Deep Dive guy gets to the Riku fight part, see what he says. Yeah, I know that's pretty notorious for being fucked up. Like, it's also always whack to me in 1 Like, I also first tried, like, Final Anthem. Like, I just did that in one go. I was like, oh, I just first tried that boss. Just first tried the final boss of the game. Which is always surprising that I did that. I wonder if I'll actually do that this year or not. Cause I'm like, damn, I don't know. These games are fun, honestly. Those are fun games. We'll see. We'll see what the vibe is. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just here. I'm just painting. Talking about games. I want that one. or do I want this one? I think I want the other one. Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't know what I'm doing today after Mario Paint, because I don't think I want to commit to doing an MM run, because we're making burrito bowls at home again tonight. We're doing that, and then we also have to go to the store to get milk and hopefully return. Maybe we'll return after getting milk. And then, yeah. So I don't want to do like an MM run and be like, oops, it's like late AF, but we'll see. We'll vibe check. But like I also said earlier, I might maybe just play Puzzle League. I don't know. I think I low-key just need like something new for me to do. Now Hollow Knight is a void for me because I'm basically done with the game now, and that was kind of like what my go-to was for a bit, because I feel like it's probably safe to say I'm like low-key a little burnt out on MM. Wait, fuck, I'm using gray. Like I've had like a good time, like when I did those like few runs the other day, like last week. Like I was having like a fine time. I wasn't like hating it or anything, but like I feel like I'm not like, oh, I need to fucking grind this shit. I think I put so much energy into trying to get that 244. I put so much energy into like trying to get that time. I think I just need like an actual break from doing it. All right, back to all masks. Smile. Go to all masks. We have turtle cutscene skip. What's the casual games list looking like now? Good question. What is the casual games list looking like? I didn't have anything slated for after Hollow Knight. Like it was Sly 3 and then Hollow Knight and then that was it. You know what's been on the list actually for a few years? Partners in Time, because I've never legitimately beat that game. That's been on the list for a while, actually. Maybe I should do that, because I've talked about that for years. Doing Partners in Time, finally. Because I need my redemption against Elder Princess Shrew, because I could not beat that boss as a child. I was like, this boss is impossible. This boss has 1 billion HP and never dies. And if you fuck up a single time, like, you're just screwed. Me as a child's experience doing that fight. Like, they didn't fuck around. But I know also, like, English is, like, the harder version, because when they... I guess... Because I'm pretty sure all the Mario & Luigi games came out in North America first, and then Japan after, and... in North American releases, she has, like, I don't know how much health, but compared to Japanese, she has like, in North America, she has like 2,000 or 3,000 more HP than she does on JP. So they lowered the amount of health she has on Japanese. Maybe because they realized this boss is fucked up. Because you have to beat Princess Shroop and then Elder Princess Shroop right afterwards without dying, and I think or getting a heal ? I don't remember. But it's like you have to beat both of them in a row. Are you fucked up, game? Jesus. Like insane. Asking little old child me to do that. I wasn't a copy flower abuser. I used them, but I didn't like spam them. I don't think. And maybe I should do that next. And because when there's a save point between those fights, I am very certain you have to do them like all in one go. That's what my memory tells me. And if we're playing on a legally dumped ROM on my emulator that I can play with save states, then we could have a save in between, just saying. Bowletta into Cackletta final fight. Yeah. That one is super fucked also. Because no matter how well you do on Bowletta, you always start Cackletta at 1 HP for Mario and Luigi. And if you fuck up and get hit by any of those attacks at the start, because they just force you into, you have to dodge for like 30 seconds straight. If you fuck up, you might as well just reset and try again. Okay, my camera's kind of cooking, hold on. Like, that shit was mean that they made you deal with that. I definitely, in my casual playthrough on stream, I tried my best to do all that, but then at some point I was like, I am just gonna save state after, like, before Cackletta starts, so I still have to deal with the whole like dodging for 30 seconds thing, but like the only difference of me having to do Bowletta every time is if I happen to use like an extra like mushroom or something. But like I'm just basically wasting time. Like I'd rather just save state. Like it got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm getting my shit kicked in. I'd rather just save state at this point to like just speed up the process. Because I'm like, because I got to a point where I was like beating the first phase like pretty consistently. Like I wasn't really struggling with the first phase. It was just fucking Cackletta was impossible because I was getting shit on. I was getting fucked up. Which I think was a valid way of going about it. I was like, I didn't really feel bad about save stating. Even though like I didn't really save state at all in my playthrough for that game. I think that was the only time I made use of save stating because, you know, I want to try and beat it pretty legit if I can. Which is why I need my redemption arc in that game, so I can say I beat that game legit for the first time in my life, because I deadass just used an action replay to beat that game growing up. That is the only way I've beaten that game. I'm gonna connect into chat. Press 1 if you're also connecting to chat. Yeah, honestly, it's surprising that they made it that difficult. Because I feel like, especially for like just like, you know, just for a Nintendo game, I feel like usually you would not get something that difficult, especially like for like a Mario game. Cause like for like Paper Mario 64, like, you know, I remember struggling with Bowser as a kid and all that, and like like Shadow Queen. I remember struggling with that as a kid. But I beat them. I eventually beat them. Unlike Elder Princess Shrew, which I could not beat as a kid. I don't know how much I tried. Like, I wonder how much I put in to try and beat that. I just could not. I just couldn't. I remember when I was playing through Superstar Saga on MU, I was having some weird input delay thing, like issue, I think, throughout my playthrough. Because there was like some attacks where I consistently was like, I just can't avoid these. Like, I feel like I'm hitting at the right time, but it's just like not coming out. Could just be like an emulator, just like getting fucked by playing on MU sort of thing. It's like when Skittle did a Wind Waker rando a couple weeks back, I did a skip for them in Wind Temple, and playing on Dolphin, I was like, oh my god, this input delay is actually so awful. like playing in a vacuum, like it wasn't like the worst thing ever, but compared to like how it feels like on Wii, I'm like, this feels terrible in comparison. And Armo was telling me like, yeah, I've tried doing like Wind Waker for Archie, but the input delay just makes me feel sad. Playing on Dolphin. Yeah, I knew Mush Badge for Superstar Saga was broken, so I didn't use it. I think I got it, and I was like, oh, this is the broken badge. This is the OP item in the game. Who would have thought that making a badge where having more of a really common item increasing your attack could possibly get broken? Who could have ever guessed that? I guess like for most casuals perspectives, like probably when they made that, they were like, well, most players like would want to like are gonna like end up using their mushrooms at some point, so this probably won't be a problem. Or maybe they knew it was broken and just said, fuck it, we ball out here, who cares? Be curious if they knew it was OP or not. There's just flat damage increase instead of a stat boost, and I think it's uncapped, question mark. Yeah, Chopper Bros is like fucked up with Mush Badge because you do like you just like one hit like bosses with it if you like are quick enough with mashing. It's like insane. You know, speaking of which, because I'm at the point where I'm getting Hollow Knight videos on my YouTube, and I got one. I forget if I just watched a speedrun or if it was just a video that was talking about this, like just like full on like no restrictions, any percent for that game, and I was like, damn, the any percent run is just getting this glitch where you can just walk through walls and become invincible and just, you know, not even have to like attempt to like try on the final fight. And like, I wonder if that's like at all like, of a common like speedrun for that game, or if it's like SRM stuff or MM where it's like kind of cool, but then like it kind of loses its like novelty at a certain point. I don't know if I would ever want to speedrun a game like Hollow Knight. I don't know if that's up my alley or not ever, but if I ever did, it would definitely be something that's more just like playing the game and not like, okay, we're gonna do the glitch now where you can just no clip through every wall. I was watching a video that just like showed some of the glitches in the game. I was like, wow, this is crazy. The stuff that you can do in the game. It was neat to see. It was neat to see for sure. But yeah, historically for speedruns, I definitely like doing speedruns where you're just kind of mostly actually playing the game. Hence why you've never caught me learning an SRM category for MM, because fuck that. And I like my cabin on this one. I think this cabin turned out really nice. I need to, I think, actually do a little bit of this. Sorry, getting distracted. Chopper Bros. Yeah, Chopper Bros, the OP move. And then I actually forgot, because I think in my in Hollow Knight appearing on my feed endeavors, one of Emre or Ravenlit, but she goes by on Twitch now. One of her old VODs appeared, one of her previous GDQ runs appeared on my feed. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot she did Hollow Knight stuff. Hope she's doing well. But I never watched, I never watched those back then because I wasn't really I was never particularly uninterested in Hollow Knight back then, but I also wasn't I just never really knew much about the game, so I was just kind of neutral towards it before I knew much about it at all. Just in the not really knowing much kind of vibe. Apparently at some point, Carlos said that we should do an Archie or a Rando for Hollow Knight. See what that's like. I haven't tried it yet, but I did set up an Archie for Peak. I guess for anyone who doesn't know, when I say Archie, I'm referring to an archipelago randomizer, just what my friends and I all refer to it as. Say Archie. I said I got the mod for Peak the other week. I haven't tried it yet, but I always enjoy playing some Peak. Which Skittles told me that they made Peak in a month originally. I was like, they made that in a month? Are you kidding me? That's crazy that they made that in a month. That game is better than a lot of games that have years and millions of dollars put into it, and they just made it in a month with probably not a very high budget at all. That's actually crazy. Okay, is this the right color? Yeah, sorry. They look, these two black tones on the second page, they look the same to me basically, so I had to check. On the TV they look the same basically. There's a little difference. I guess I guess it's a lot more apparent on the trees back here. But if I'm just using a little bit, it can be hard to tell. It's tragic. Apparently whenever they release the next biome for Peak, which is allegedly, spoiler alert for anyone who cares, is supposed to be a biome that replaces the last two levels, Caldera and Kiln. That's what allegedly it's supposed to be, if what I've heard is correct. But then they're yep, allegedly after that they're done doing big updates for the game. Supposedly, who knows? Maybe that'll get redacted later or something. But I'm like, it would go so hard if every level in that game had like 3 different biomes you could pick from. I think that'd be so cool. Because right now in that game, you start a run, you always do shore, and then it's either tropics or roots, and then it's either mesa or alpine, and then currently it's always caldera and kiln. But I don't know, I think it would be super dope for that game if like I beat shore, and then it's like, okay, I have a possibility of getting like 3 or maybe multiple more like possibilities of what biome I might get. I think that would just be pretty lit. Maybe that's where mods could take place. I do love playing Peak. That's like easily of games I have played in recent times. That is like, I mean, honestly, of all time, Peak is probably like in my top 10 on low-key. It's just so good. It's so good for a game that's like so like simple. I just appreciate that it doesn't try to be too much. Like everything that it presents itself as is like not overly complicated for no reason. But just the way the game is built, at least for me, it makes it just fun to play. That's like something I do every now and then, even though I've done like gotten like all the badges and done all the ascents. It's just like sometimes like, oh, let me just do a run by myself. Just want to play the game. I don't know, they just crafted a fun little game. Even though I will say the zombies still kind of blow sometimes. Like, if I could choose to not have them in the game, I probably would. But at least they're less bad than they were on launch. Because the zombies were really annoying on launch. Just because you were basically constantly getting chased by one in roots. And I was like, this is not what the game is supposed to be. This is not what Peak is about. So that was kind of a dark time, but now it's a lot better. Now, thankfully, the zombies are not really problematic anymore. I don't know, I was a hater. I was a hater of the zombies when they came out. Because I appreciate that like the only enemies in the game otherwise were like passive ones, like the scorpions. Like, yeah, they do kind of aggro you, but they don't like actively hunt you down, and like you don't have to like, you really don't have to stop and deal with them unless you like want to. Yeah, thankfully we are not in that arc anymore of the zombies being horrid. Aaron quitting Peak because of the zombies. I don't know if that's true or not, but he definitely did not like the zombies. He definitely did not like them. It was crazy though how much hate they got. I mean, to be fair, the zombies were fucked on release, but they got like hella hate when they first dropped. They were I think the day the patch came out where they released Roots and the zombies, I'm pretty sure like a couple hours later they like did a hot fix that had like a nerf for them because people like were just giving them so much hate. Yeah, they changed the zombies because of player feedback. But they made it so like there's like less like nodes or whatever for like zombies to spawn in. They made them like slower. Because before, you basically couldn't outrun them. Like if one aggroed on you, you like were dealing with it for just so long. At least now if one aggroes on you, like firstly, like there's just less like node points for like a zombie to potentially spawn, which is hype. But yeah, now if one spawns in and like you awaken it, because they only like wake up if you get too close to them. So if you see one, you can like try and like avoid it, which is nice. But you're not just like getting chased for like 5 minutes at a time and like being unable to like outmaneuver them because they don't have stamina. Yo, Miggle, what's good, man? This is sick. Thanks. Yeah, you're at the pretty tail end of the painting. We're pretty much done with this one. I'm just kind of going on about Peak, one of my GOAT games. Talking about one of the not GOAT things of the game, though. Yeah, I'm glad they listened. I'm glad they like actually just like changed it pretty quickly. But yeah, still though, despite them like nerfing the zombies, I still like like I said, if I could choose, I would definitely just not have the zombies in the game if I could. Like if it was just fully, if I was Mr. Peak CEO, I'd be like, yeah, trash those things. But at least now they're a lot more manageable. So it's like less problematic than it was if they kept them like broken as hell. If they were adamant on keeping them how they were when they launched, I'd be like, no, delete these things from the game. Also an ad immediately played when Miggle popped in. I hope that didn't immediately adge them. Oh, ads, blubbers. Speaking of ads, are we done? I'm at the 1 hour 8 minute mark on this painting, and the tree was the last thing I had to do. So, oh, actually, I need to put a little white line here. A little white line. There we go. But yeah, I think. Oh. No, I need to put a little. This like black checkered tone here on the chimney. It's so much blacker on my TV, whereas on the capture card, it's a lot more gray for you guys. So let's put a little bit more like black in here, real quick. You got turbo? Oh, hell yeah. Base turbo. The clutch turbo. Even though I could have kept it how it was. But I think I do like that a little bit more. Gives a little bit more oomph to it. Okay, now we can call this a finished painting. So yeah, GG's. I like this one. My cabin, I think I'm actually pretty happy with. That cabin turned out really nice. I'm not gonna lie. So GG's Mario Paint, and we'll see you next week for another episode. So farewell, VOD watchers.